Hey, it's Adam here, and you're watching The Culture Hack, where we're talking about how to create engaged workspaces that unlock the potential of your teams and drive your business forward in ways you've never seen. So stay tuned. Okay, welcome to another episode of The Culture Hack. Today, I'm super excited. It is a first for this show. There is three of us chatting today because that's how exciting it's going to be. We have Al-Karim Kimji. He is the co-founder and CEO of Propra. And we have his partner in crime. We have Craig Adam, the other co-founder and CTO. So welcome, guys. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
So first and foremost, tell me about Propra. What's going on with you guys?
So it's Propra. So I
Propra,
know you're doing it
okay.
on purpose, but I appreciate that. Propra, we're a Calgary-based software company. We automate residential property management. What we've learned is that when businesses start to grow and they grow their own little portfolio, they need something more sophisticated than Excel, but they don't need a multi-million-dollar ERP. And so we're right in the middle. And our goal is to bring that modern technology, that very smooth and seamless experience, not only to the landlord, but to the property manager and to the resident.
Okay. So, Craig, how did you get pulled into this exciting adventure?
I started off with Al-Karim right from the beginning. I think I actually quit my day job before he did to get working on this. But, we got connected through mutual friends and just shared passion for, building something special right here in the Canadian prairies.
Okay, fantastic. And how long has Propra been in the works?
So Craig and I met in the fall, winter of 2020, launched in 21. So we actually just passed our 2-year anniversary. But the other thing is that we actually launched our product in May. And so it's been 9 months since we've been live. And we've been growing at between like 35 and 40% month over month. So it's been pretty wild.
Yeah, well, that is amazing. Congratulations, guys. And happy birthday, I guess. You just passed the 2 years, right? Feel like we should celebrate that for a moment.
We'll send you a cupcake.
Cool. Yeah. All right, cake it is. Deal. Next time we meet in person. So that's amazing. A growing company means growing team, more people, more talents. Talk to me about engagement and working with your team. What does that mean to you guys?
Craig, do you want to take a pass at this?
Yeah, for sure. So, I love talking about engagement because, it's just a thing that really matters from my perspective. And one of the very first things I kind of set out at the very beginning was to deliberately design an engineering culture that would support the kind of company we wanted to build kind of long term, something that would be resilient and adaptable at small scale to be able to, take advantage of the intensity of startup life, but then also something that laid down the foundations for future growth into like a large organization. I've had a lot of experience on both ends, so I want to make sure that it's a smooth transition the whole way.
Okay, well, that's pretty cool. And how about yourself, Al-Karim?
It's pretty concise. I don't know if I can. The one thing I would add, it's always hard when Craig goes first. The one thing I could add is, I think one of the things that brought Craig and I together and that we've been trying to make sure that we permeate across sort of our organization is a couple things, right? One, trust-based sort of flat organization. We're all part of the team. And then the second one is leave it better than you found it, which I've learned from the developer side, which is, as we build code or as we build any process in the organization. And I think the third is that we're having fun, right? And I think it's really hard because the startup journey is hard itself, right? There's this like rapid up and down. Some people call it a roller coaster. I think about it as a Ferris wheel because I know I'm going down. I just don't know what's going to happen and when. And so how do we make sure that we're driving engagement and keeping the team excited? And so it's the confluence of those several things.
Right. And are you guys virtual or hybrid, or do you have an office? Like, do you guys have, Craig?
Yeah, hybrid for sure. Al-Karim could talk about our office because I think he's there right now. But some of our team works like full-time remote, and that's been some, it's had some challenges, but it's also been great because it allows us to access, talent from around the world.
Okay, very cool. So you're bringing in talent and perspectives from all over, and you just touched on it. That does bring with it some unique challenges like time zones, is a simple one, right? Are there any particular, we'll start with yourself, Al-Karim, that come to mind in terms of as this team's grown that you've had to overcome or are dealing with now?
Yeah, I think it comes back to making sure that everyone feels part of the team, because we have that hybrid approach. People are making relationships in the office, right? Like, it could just be like while you're chatting, waiting for your coffee, or you're walking in, hey, how was your weekend, right? But when you're in that remote environment, maybe it's just like you kind of just dive into the meeting and you're like problem solving on a call or on Slack. And so one of the things that we've done is we actually have a team huddle, and it's every 2 weeks, and it just brings everyone together. And the idea is that we just not only problem solving or sharing updates, but we actually sometimes even play a game. And that's fun, right? Because then you kind of group in different teams. We make sure that, not all the devs are together, and we kind of spread everyone out. And I think that helps sort of create some of that relationship. And I think the other one is celebrating milestones, right? So it could just be like anniversaries, birthdays, like children being born, anything, but making sure that it's like a team thing that we're all sort of part of.
Right. Really taking that time and guarding it too, right? You have those team huddles, and I'm sure there's other stuff that like tries to break in, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
How about yourself, Craig?
Well, I think Al-Karim mentioned it in that same kind of that same team huddle. Like I think when we started off, we had a lot of kind of information sharing, like here's what's happening, because we wanted people to be feel part of things, and we still do want that. But we also found that it got to the point where it started feeling very kind of unidirectional, where we're just transmitting information, and because our team is a startup team, and we're still kind of, everybody on the team has some kind of a stake in this outcome. We want to make sure that they not just have like an ownership stake, but feel a sense of ownership, like this is their baby too. And so we like to not just share information, but also share, like, here's a real challenge we're facing, let's solve it together as a group. And so it gives people an opportunity to kind of weigh in and have kind of a say in how we as a company tackle these problems.
I love that. At Intel, we call it take it to 11. So it's like, okay, here's this thing, let's all beat up on it, right? Don't feel bad, just kill it, and let's see what comes out the other side. That's really epic. So very cool. I love that. And it's so important with a hybrid team that you schedule those times to come together in person, right? There is really no substitute at the end of the day for that type of interaction, right? So now we're looking to the future. You guys are growing fast. Things are happening. Maybe the office is getting full. Whatever's going on. Craig, I'm interested. What plans do you have in the future to make sure people are staying engaged and staying excited, and even when they start, have a really nice experience? With you guys?
There's a couple things for sure. Like we want to make sure that when people are onboarded, that they have that we really take a lot of care in the onboarding experience for somebody new to the company, and we want to make sure that they've got the support, that they've got like a buddy that they can work with, that that gives them kind of shows them the ropes and lets them be able to ask and feel safe to ask questions that maybe it seems like everybody should know, but like, I'm new here and I don't know that yet. So it's really good to have that level of support. And then the other thing is, like, I think as we grow too, I'm always concerned about, like, how do we maintain the core of our culture, the values that are important to us as we add more and more people, especially when you're going through a hyper growth phase where you add a lot of people. And I've been through this in other companies, and I think one of the ways that you can do it is by making sure that you've got really strong kind of cultural ambassadors that are people who represent kind of the core of the culture that you want to have within the company, and use those to seed the new teams. So as we grow teams around the core contributors that already exist, that already have kind of the culture that we're trying to design and maintain as part of their kind of worldview. By building that on, then the newcomers will are more likely to pick up the right cues and to be able to kind of contribute their own spin on it and help to build it up.
Very cool. I like that. I love how it's by design, right? It didn't just happen by accident. We like to think of its culture as a strategy, like anything else for your business.
Absolutely, yeah.
Al-Karim, do you have anything to add to that?
I mean, the only other thing is, like, a fun snack drawer is really important. And when I'm joking a little, but it's also just like, we want those convening mechanisms, be it like over those team meetings or otherwise, to do like team events. Inevitably, we did a Christmas party this year. It was great to bring everyone together, and it wasn't just the team; it was like their significant others. because we understand that part of startup means there's an impact on the family, and so you want to make sure, like, when I say impact, I mean, like, everyone's in it, right? And we want more people to be on, in the tent. And so I think that's part of that, which is how do we make sure that people feel part and welcome and inclusive, and we have a pretty diverse group of folks, and so that's really exciting because everyone has a different story or background or history, and I think that's culturally really exciting. So we actually did in the office, we did a potluck a couple of weeks back, and it was fun because everyone had to make something that was a little bit of like a bit of their culture, and so it was a pretty fun meal. And so those kinds of things bring everyone together and also just give you pause in the day, which is also sort of like healthy and good for balance.
Right. And it's amazing. That becomes so important, especially when it's just a tornado out there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay. Well, it sounds like you guys have put a lot of thought and effort into this, and it sounds to me like the results are really paying off. So that's really cool to hear. And I'm excited to see what you guys do in the coming year. So thank you so much for taking the time. Really appreciate it, Craig and Al-Karim. Yeah, thanks so much.
Yeah, no, we appreciate the opportunity to kind of share with you and share some ideas.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Thanks for inviting us.
Thanks, Adam.
Hey, thanks for watching The Culture Hack. Do you want to chat culture and engagement? Give us a call and come on the show.